Welcome to the Kani stream. We are gaming today with the same list as on Tuesday. I'm not sure it's fully correct. Like, it's probably not correct to run Trinispheres really right now, because all of this Storm hate present in various deck lists, so just kinda made it so that Ruby Storm's popularity trends downwards. But I kinda still want to get some reps in with the card, and there is still a chance I will run into the matchups where it's good. That said, is this a keep? I have an Amulet, I have a Cultivator Colossus as a payoff, I have Zenith for Dryad Arbor, I have no bounce lands, but Urza's Cave is kind of a bounce land. I feel like this hand is medium, but drawing a Scapeshift improves it. Drawing a second Amulet improves it. Drawing a Saga is quite alright. Misty Rainforest, pass. What is the meaning of this? I don't know, so I will GSZ for Dryad Arbor. Second green also valuable for the purposes of casting Scapeshift if I draw it. Commercial District, Springleaf Drum. The bot said villain played Brute Scale last time, so it clearly seems like it's Brute Scale, yes. Siemaneczko Piardosik. No, it's good, it's good. Opponent chooses Urza Saga. That is rather slow. My Dryad Arbor could get punished by Kozilek's Commando. In 2 turns I win. Though once my Saga pops I win, so maybe they will not get there. I mean, it's not like they had options on the Rumble, it was just free land, so villain took the Saga, but also turn to Rumble. Doesn't seem like they have the combo in hand already necessarily. Yeah, maybe they do. I guess you make the spawn first. So we'll see. I don't have interaction, so no Boseiju on hand. You're thinking about unretiring from Modo. What deck should you play? Not Amulet. In Modern? Okay, what deck would be the best for Ardoshik? Let me think about that for a moment. Okay, Dryad Arbor. Exiled and draw Sad. Soulguide Lantern. Alright, could be worse. Seems like they have a weak draw. This is a great draw. Boseiju, make sure I don't die. Next turn I have 2 amulets, and then what exactly? Then we'll see. End of turn, get a Gruul Turf, bounce it back, untap, play it, win. So yeah, besides Amulet right now, I don't know if there is many Ardoshik decks available, like... I mean, you could become a Boros Energy player, break the paradigm of not playing midrange, and then just actually learn a new skill. Maybe that's... Maybe you should just try to do that. To spend your to spend your unemployed time valuably. Ruby Storm is on the downswing, so I guess it might actually be decent to pick it up, because people will finally remove their dumping spheres since it's down ticking. So yeah, that sounds like a solid choice. Actually, I can get Lotus Field, that's maybe better. What about red-green Brute Scale? Red-green Brute Scale. I mean, if that's your speed. The deck kinda disappeared in the last 3 months. So maybe it's a good time to pick it up as well. Why did it disappear? I don't know, but there was just, you know, for the first 3 months of the year I wasn't playing much Modern. I was only barely observing it and observing stuff happening. But I don't really know. Like, one of the possible, like, there was less Titan. One of the possible reasons why there was less Titan could be that there was the PT and some of the, I don't know, I wasn't playing. So could that be enough of a difference? I'll get 2 bounce lands for Mr. Beast. Which is actually, I mean, it's a bit better against Boseiju. Well, yeah, we're playing around Boseiju. If they went for the combo and you had to use Boseiju, how would I play around SGL? Same way, I would just summon Mr. Beast. Plays around SGL pretty well. But yeah, I guess that's true that they have the Soul Guide Lantern, so that's why I shouldn't just go for the Analyst loop. Good point, good reminder that it's there. What about Sex Camera Dicks? Are they real? So far they seemed not to have panned out, but maybe you can be the person to change that. I have played that matchup 0 times, so I don't actually know how strong that is. How strong those decks are. I think they won a challenge or something early and then they just disappeared. People stopped playing them. Or, well, they never really caught on, so I think it's just largely unexplored. And there was no thought leader to tell people what build to play, and that is good, so that also could be your niche. Opponent is bravely holding priority for who knows what. For sure a very important effect, so they definitely need to not let me just perform my actions. Creativity albo young Grzmot. Sure. I mean, you would be attacking the fringes of the format. You would be, I guess, trying to innovate, but why not? Like, there's maybe places to be, things to do. Why doesn't Twitch have an auto-translate function in 2026? Like from speech from the streamer or of your fellow chat comrades? That could be useful. I summon Primeval Titan. Yeah, I should be the auto translate function. That's a good point. I will try to do that from now on. Titan has never been so thrilling. Well, you see, my opponent has a Soul Guide Lantern and maybe even a Boseiju. I think that's what they are thinking about. Maybe it's just a Lantern. Dobra. Kill SGL. Brother. Whoa. Alright, my GY is gone. Well played. What's about the Needle Land? It could be annoying to play against as Titan. You could play Tron deck, Expedition map for a land that needles Boseiju's. Boseiju a big part of the plan against the Eldrazi decks. So I could see that being an issue. So not thrilled to face it, maybe. If you want to play it in Amulet, then I would have to think about this, but likely there is just not much reason to do so, right? Not many actual lands you would like to turn off. Unless you give me some convincing arguments. It is allegedly a dubstep compilation. Brutal dubstep drops. It even has an animation of a spooky looking guy bopping. Weź kurwa się poddaj, zjebie no. Zjebo Frankonę. Debilu. Co ty chcesz uzyskać? Raz, dwa, trzy, cztery, pięć, sześć, siedem, osiem. There should be a fourth Titan. Yes. O, Canister Wins, no. Lethal Damage, wjeżdża. I only have 2 Dismembers, so I think I'll bring Force of Vigor. Also, Dumping Sphere has been quite popular lately. Don't want Trini, don't want Fire Magic. Don't want Skyline Cascade, so I guess I'll bring the rest. Vexing Bauble is poor, Grazer is poor. Maybe we can keep 2. Beast is okay. Dryad Arbor makes up for Grazer. Saga can be attacked efficiently sometimes. Against Brute Scale, I basically think I can just chill a little bit. I think I'll carry Scapeshift and a Lotus Field because they just like to attack to Damping Sphere. I feel like that's common. If opponent does nothing, can Titan just win on turn 3? Very much, yes. Turn 2 wins are possible. Yeah, Cascade is mainly for locking down Frogster. It's okay. It's pretty nice against all of the effects where, like, it's pretty nice against all of the creatures that you care about damage from, basically. Whoa, 2 Brute Scales? No, oh, okay, makes sense. That's strong, sort of. I think I will get an Ouphe. And yeah, basically it's kind of like a 0 mana card. It's like a 0 mana removal spell that doesn't really cost you a card because it's a land and it's repeatable. So Skyline Cascade actually is kind of neat. Oh no, they can Kozilek's command my Ouphe now. Why do I think we need double amount of sex? It's just good, and I enjoy drawing it, so kinda that's why. But maybe we don't, maybe it shouldn't be. Maybe I shouldn't board the second one here, for example. It's not like as good, as crucial. Okay, bounce land. Whoa, no bounce land. GG's. Because drawing 2 sacks here wasn't particularly good, right? So perhaps I overboarded. Oh, no more Elder G. Yeah, Elder G I found it pretty weak and unconvincing, and thinking critically it's kind of hard to actually justify this. They revealed Thief of Existence, that is punishing. Is there any reason for using 2 sexes? Well, you draw it more often. What kind of silly question is that? Is there any reason? Of course there is a reason. Ay, ay, ay. Is there any card that piqued my interest from the new set? Not really, I don't think so. Not much. You've been lacking complementary GSZ targets when you can't get Titan, but they all seem kinda weak except for Sex. I agree. It is what it is. Sex is the best and nothing else comes close. Like, Elder Galkarov is a hate card for Zoo, and playing a hate card against Zoo, and a dubious one to begin with, is kinda sus, right? Ardosik, ja to robię w zemście, więc moralnie jestem tutaj. Git. A 4/4 DT for free that helps us find Titan for 5 mana instant speed. If you could give me the card name, that would be easier. I'll pour out the second 6 and I'll have 3 Scapeshifts and 4 Saga on the play. Plus the second Lotus Field. Primeval Grazer. So I'll just be at 63 cards, that's fine. It's not like Ouphe is giga great against Brute Scale, but sometimes they miss on Kozilek's command or they want to use it differently, so you know, the choice here was to die or not die. Vast Land Scavenger. The choice here was to die to removal or die to no removal. Guess I'll keep. Do I want a turn 1 Saga here? I think I do not, because against if I draw Scapeshift, it's better to have more lands. Don't want it to go away, and I could make constructs, which might be meaningful. And I have no payoff, so we could maybe have to wait a little bit. Claim each, okay. There's some reason to hold the Amulet, the Wasteland Strangler. Wonder if I should. Thief of Existence, rather. Okay. But next turn we get in a Titan, regardless of Thief. Dumpling, no yeah, Ty kurwo. I mean, Constructs plus Dismember, that's a fine plan against that. And we have the Crumbling Vestige, so we're actually fine. So I take it back, it's fine. We can just Titan 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Because I only needed the ability to go off with a single amulet if they actually killed my amulet, which they didn't. Down to 6 bounces again. Is it a combo of 6 in the side? Not really. It's actually a combo with... Can I hold up Boseiju? I think that's impossible. If I want to haste, I can't hold it up. It's actually a combo with opposing Dumping Spheres. Whoa, and it very tapped Hanweir. Misstacked my triggers. Because Dumping Sphere is really popular, because Storm used to be popular and people haven't cut their Dumping Spheres yet. I feel like that's happening, and I just prefer to have fewer bounces. You could also board out a bounce, I guess. Maybe that's also a strategy I should think about more often. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can Mirrorpool. So I guess I could end up with a Boseiju otherwise. Because I could get a bounce land, and now I would get Boseiju Forest. I guess I wouldn't have enough mana. Alright, it doesn't matter then. Whatever. Boseiju, Urza's Cave. Take 9. Your move. You could also board out a Lotus Field against Dumping Spheres, but sometimes you still want to keep the ability for your Scapeshift to be fully functional, then you don't want to cut the second Lotus Field. But certainly Lotus Field is the most affected card by Dumpling Sphere. Bounces can be pretty bad, but Lotus Field is just kind of unplayable into Sphere, of course. Am I in love with Crumbling Vestige? Yes. I think it's one of the best innovations. No, not really. It's not really one of the best innovations, because it also... Crumbling Vestige is way better now than it was before Scapeshift. This hand, I probably would keep if I had Minstrel in my deck. I would go Dryad Arbor into Minstrel into turn 3 Scapeshift. So if my opponent doesn't interfere, it is a turn 3 win. But that is not true with the deck list I have actually submitted, so think I would rather mulligan if there is a if my opponent truly is an Eldrazi Tron, likely. Or any deck, like if with a hand like this, you just need to top deck an amulet. You have 8 amulets and 53. I guess you can enjoy Saga. Was this list supposed to have Minstrel? No, it wasn't. I'm just saying that if I had Minstrel, I would keep. What is my reasoning for not including Minstrel with the GSZs? It's a bad card, mostly. Bad draw, most of the time. Hard to cast when drawn. Clashes with sweepers requiring blue mana. Because makes you play... It wants you to play Grove Chambers and not Gruul Turfs. I'm playing 4 Gruul Turfs. And the area of games where it's actually useful is pretty limited. Like, sure, this hand I would have kept instead of mulliganing, but the previous hand would be kind of risky even with Minstrel still, because you do rely on a creature surviving, which is the easiest card type to interact with. Very easily opponent could just interfere. When moves to 5 and plays Urza's Mind Pass, seems like we possibly can win. Mind Stone. Well, in fact, I do not mind. Do you Mind Stone? I don't mind. What's a Mind Stone? What's a Mind Stone? Is that a Ligma joke setup? Do we have a quick win this turn, or do we have to loop? We do have a quick win. Well, with 2 amulets, it's a bit tricky. The quickest would probably be to just get 2 bounce lands and summon Mr. Beast here. I would have to tank the Mr. Beast trigger with double amulet. But then I can Scapeshift for the haste land, haste Titan, Beast, find Mirrorpool, copy Mr. Beast, replay, haste the second one, attack. That probably would be the fastest from this spot. Alright, Tron, Shmron. Sometimes they bring in Disruptor Flute. Let's bring in 1 Force of Vigor over the Vexing Bauble. It's an answer to Disruptor Flute, and let's remember that Disruptor Flute exists. Last time I really forgot that it does exist, and I was giga punished by that. Keeping a hand with both of my pacts is a little bit awkward, but also not too bad. You should cut Boseiju, it's bad in this matchup, says the Tron Lands guy. Makes sense. Very in character. Vexing Bauble against my 2 pacts. They excel Torpor Orb, Mindstone, and Mindstone. I think I should Arbor. There's no way they fought on Seer next turn, right? I draw Grazer, it's a bit better. One has 2 cards in hand, by the way. Kinda crazy. Could bounce the Dryad Arbor back. This might be actually good. Nah, it doesn't really do anything, because it's better to have the Dryad Arbor in play, because this way, if I play a bounce land and I bounce a Crumbling Vestige, if my opponent doesn't kill my Dryad Arbor, then I get to Scapeshift with 3 lands next turn, which is convenient. Otherwise, I would only get to Scapeshift with 2 lands. And Scapeshift with 3 lands should be quite easy to figure some nice line from. Probably just get mana and cast Titan. I get Bounce Land, Boseiju, Lotus Field. I get 6 mana. I have 7 mana total, so I'm 1 short of killing the Vexing Bauble, pacting for Analyst and Unlisting, so I guess I wouldn't be able to do that, so I guess the plan... We kill the Dryad Arbor? Yes. RIP. X0, notably. How much mana does my opponent have? Plenty of mana next turn. If I kill the Urza's land, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 7 for an Eldrazi spell. I'm not sure if it's all that good then to cast Scapeshift here. I feel like it might not be. I think I should play Saga and pass. Whatnot series a bit rough, but also not that bad. Takes my Scapeshift. No second thought. Okay, that's a good draw. One, two, three, four, 5, 6, 7 mana. Whoa, what are we casting? Disruptor Flute? They're looking for Disruptor Flute with Kozilek's Commander. I guess it's nice that they do that before bouncing. But I guess if they find the flute, I die next turn. They could also find another commando, then I also die, right? Go to 6. Take my 4 plus 1. No, that's fine. This Vexing Bauble fairly successful for them. I guess against my double packed hand, it lined up nicely. How did we scry? 5 bottom. Yeah, if my opponent chains 2 more commands, I guess, then that's a win. I feel they have this one locked up. You sure, buddy? Your opponent totally miss lethal here. Do command for max value, and if there is no other command, then they TKS. Well, miss lethal if there is a command, right? I mean, there's very few cards in my opponent's deck that are good right now, so it's not really surprising that they missed. But yeah, they probably should have commanded first before Whatnot Searing. Also, maybe you should have... Maybe you should have... I don't know. I mean, I can just kill the bubble, chat. This is what we will do. I'll just kill the bubble and get the analyst with one of my pacts. Worry not. Okay, come on, exiles 3 cards from my graveyard. Possibly. Seems like they drew the command with Bauble. That's crazy. Wow. Well, they only have one. Yeah, that means they missed lethal. They could have done that. I mean, missed, like they... It's maybe viable not to go for it. I guess if I want to play around Disruptor Flute, then I should. Last time I didn't, and I regretted it. Because I died for no reason. Whoa. That's many forests. Cool. Analyst. I think we have the flute beaten now. The skin flute, as they say. I don't know what that means though. Canister wins the match. Jumba falls victim to Canister. Let's go. They had flute and we bounced flute. They replayed and kill us. That's why I would have preferred not to bounce it. So I did think about that. Yes. Oh yes, yes, pepperoni. Pepperoni pizza. How can I explain? Ketchup is crazy. Chad, I remind you, this is a frozen pizza from Lidl. Ketchup goes extremely well with those. Of course, things would be different with a restaurant grade pizza. But this one is not it. Boseiju was a lucky draw. I forgot to put a draw step stop, but I guess I didn't actually want it. I mean, Villain, it's funny because maybe they just don't even beat the Saga. The Construct Factory. Villain did discard a Blood Moon, funnily. I mean, I should definitely just kill the moon now and trying to make constructs. I mean, it's kind of a funny plan, but it's just probably bad. 2 Blood Moons main deck is a little bit extreme, but it is common for them to play 1 and sometimes 2, yeah, in the main deck. I mean, there is a chance that just passing is actually better for me. At least until I drew the Scapeshift, but I mean I can do it now. But if I hadn't drawn the Scapeshift, if this happens, I was thinking that if my opponent just survives a Flage, there's actually a huge problem. And I might lose to that. With just the Titan. Let's make sure to crack the Vexing Bauble, so I don't counter my own Pact. Back when MPL was a thing, they had some segments where they were discussing live with some of the MPL players that were played between rounds of the tournaments. Two Moons main deck, let's play 2 Force of Vigor then, because we know for sure that they have them. And there was a Reed Duke segment where Reed Duke was saying that he eats frozen pizza and he doesn't even unfreeze it sometimes. He eats frozen pizza a lot and he doesn't even bother unfreezing it. He just pulls it out of the freezer and just chomps on the block of ice that it is. Which, I don't know if that's actually true, but it sounds crazy. I guess if I board into Force of Vigors, then I have 62 cards. Too bad. Grazer into Spelunking, Force of Vigor for Moon. Sounds good. Sounds like what a proper MTG player would do. Fair. Ragavan. I have the perfect counter. Ready. Paying costs. Ocelot Proud. Okay. Elegant Cheek. Okay. We could gain 4 life with Echoing Deeps. Would be perfect if it was a 1-4. I think it's good as is. Frankly, it's fine. I think I'm not interested in gaining 4 life. I think I should play 6. Like, I would be very happy to join Bounce Land. Charmo? No nie. Co za paskuda. I guess I can't attack with 6 now. But neither can he, so at least we're even. Should play Boseiju. Alright, I can Titan next turn. I can cast Force of Vigor. I can hardcast it. Charmo doesn't want to attack. Because then 6 attacks. Ocelot and Ragavan cannot attack. I mean, 6 looks not bad this game. Like, Disenchant right now, really bad. Can't get rid of my Spelunking easily. Dumpling Sphere sits. Does the Charmo even attack? No, it wants to keep my 6 back. That's convenient. What a nice game. I guess my opponent didn't do too much. Just Charmo into Dumping Sphere. It was too little, but my things lined up well. And 6 was maybe not that crucial, but fine. So I think if I Vesuva Echoing Deeps, I'll get a half Battlements, but I'm only 69% sure, frankly. Yeah. Nice. Guess I'm not even afraid of Flage. I'll just do this. If opponent tries to trade for Titan, that probably ends up badly for him. If villain doesn't try to trade, then it also ends up badly for him. So, seems like things end up badly for my opponent. Bombardment. Sits. Very nice. Second target for my force. Recast. Retrace. Get 2 growth chambers. Actually, I can't. Get 1 growth chamber then. And I don't know, Barrow Downs. Pick up Boseiju. Alright, Flooded Strand is not it, but also there was no card in my opponent's deck that did anything at this point, so... Return to details, it is 3-0 in this challenge, chat. Are you proud of me? Tell me you're proud of me. Let's be careful, chat. Let's not run into those spots where we just only have barely enough mana to pay. This hand probably is a mulligan, it's a bit too weak, the Dryad Arbor. Can't really play that turn 1 on the draw against Boros and expect things to go well. Just giving up against the Galvanic Discharge or even Bombardment if they lead on Ocelot Pride. Even if they lead on Guide of Souls, then Bombardment is kinda rough for me. So yeah, I'll mulligan looking for something better. This is not perfect, but I might draw green turn 1. I'll put back the Vexing Bauble. If I draw a forest, this hand is awesome. If I don't, it's quite rough. If I never draw a land, untapped land for a turn 3 Spelunking, it's kind of tragic. So maybe that's a reason to keep the Vexing Bauble over the second Spelunking, but I don't think so. There is many untapped green sources and many more untapped lands in Amulet. In fact, most of the lands in Amulet are untapped. Oh, turn to Ragavan, okay. Did you just draw it, or did you really want to fetch a plains? That's a strong start. Amulet is good, Amulet is good. It's a green source. Green source, Zenith. I mean, this is a charm block Ragavan, but... Could cycle a Spelunking here. Forgo the land drop from it. Plage, okay. Could be worse, could be Moon. How much damage next turn though? Arena in play, but can't escape Flage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Seems like they don't have City's Blessing. 1 off. So I might live another turn if my opponent's card in hand is bad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes, they get a Ragavan treasure and a cat. That's 9, so barely not enough. Barely short. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 damage. It would need 4 more damage. Guide of Souls is 2 more damage, so... Flage would kill me. Many cards would kill me. I guess the best would be to draw Scapeshift. Spelunka. Cave. Whoa, I actually did draw a cave. I think that's great. That's great. I think next turn I win if they have nothing. to impact the game. Because I will Grove Chamber Titan, get to Lotus Field, sacrifice 4 lands, Analyst with GSZ. Yeah, that's why I wanted to save the GSZ. I did not want to commit it to be a Grazer, although I probably would have if I hadn't drawn the Urza's Cave, because I think it would make me survive a bunch of other cards, like, because I would even die to Seasoned Pyromancer otherwise. Just 2 damage haste creature would be good enough to have lethal. I still die to Bombardment, assuredly. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They have 3 Mana Thief in hand. Oh yeah, let's not forget about Mana Thief. Definitely could be it. Although they had that treasure, so probably they wouldn't have F6. Also, I tapped out to play my Spelunking earlier, so they probably would have Thief the first one. 2 Ragavans. They exiled GSZ and Gruul Turf, okay. So, not very meaningful cards. Villain is going to Flashback Flage, that's fair. But also irrelevant, we won, chat. We won, Zulul. When we sack treasures, they briefly exist in the graveyard. Would be crazy if we could delve them, right? Would be just giga sick. They were only kinda slightly short of being able to kill me with the Arena of Glory, but things just didn't quite pan out. I have to tap the Urza's Cave. Sell Analyst, and I will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana. So I guess we did not quite win just yet. Plus the cave. So I guess if I sacrifice 2 Gruul Turfs, I can get a Mr. Beast as a backup. So let's keep that option open. Milled no land, so that might be necessary. I think I should get cave back. If I get a Grazer now, that is not good enough, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm 1 mana away from being able to use a Grazer in this spot. Opponent has 34 life points, so I will need to make a lot of Titans, and Mr. Beast is going to my graveyard. It's just slightly annoying, but also need not to whiff, but it is virtually impossible to whiff here. Is Fire Magic good versus Yogg? I don't really think so. I'm not entirely sure how Yogg lists look right now, so take that with a grain of salt. But I don't think Fire Magic is typically, those effects weren't great. That is because Yogg himself is 4 toughness, and like the creatures they play were not that weak to those sweepers. Did the podcast episode change how we go into Mr. Beast turn? No, not really. I mean, I was Mr. Beasting when, like, I was with Mr. Beasting forever, right? So, no, it did not change my approach in that sense. That was the reason why I played Mr. Beast for so long. Because I like it against Boros, and having the ability to summon him into open mana, into Charm is kind of the key component of the card. Always has been .com. So I guess it did not change that now. Good question though. Vesuva, copy Shifting Woodland. Bounce. 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 Ciach, ciach. Ciach, ciach, ciach. Yes, Vesuva Woodland Mr. Beast copy from the GY. Mirrorpool it, haste both. That's the plan. Il Signor Bestia. Get 2 Sagas. Check Mr. Beast size. It's 21, so it should be lethal. 48 damage. I trample 20 damage with each Mr. Beast. We trade flages. Well, Titans. Alright. I mean, let's try the same for now. Probably just have too many Boros cards. if I'm going to bring in 6 as well. So maybe I should just not bring the second 6 on the draw. Maybe that's the viable route. Or no barrow downs. Let's go 62 for now, once again. Or not. Just one sex is good. Because it's not like sex is good every time. Sometimes it clearly looks lackluster. Definitely we had that experience even today. Wow, nice red sweeper. Ooh, that's a great draw. I don't think it matters if I play Woodland or Tolaria West here. Seems kind of the same. I'm certainly running pretty low on the red sources for my fire magics because I play 3 of them right now. I only have 8 sources. With 8 sources, I probably shouldn't play the third one. It's just a bit too many. The disaster scenario is to draw multiples without a red source, I guess. I mean, it's likely gonna be good this game at some point, but yeah, you don't want to flood on that effect when you can't cast them. Well, 9 sources because Vesuva is a red source as well. Let's not forget. This fire magic is gonna be nice, perhaps. Maybe opponent moons me, or maybe I draw Crumbling Vestige. What now, though? Do I want to cast it now? Feels like there is no need. Can sweep a bigger board. I think the move is to play probably just Tolaria West, not even Amulet, because of Werther. Yeah, maybe maybe the Amulet is gonna be useful. One mana Spelunking, yeah. Imagine if Spelunking was released 10 years ago and Amulet was released 2 years ago. We'd see Amulet of Vigor and we would think, yes, is this artifact even good? Not so sure. Plage. No, a Ragavan trigger. Power uncreep, maybe. Gruul Turf has been exiled. I would have loved to draw a Gruul Turf. I mean, it's an issue that they can actually Flage next turn. It's kind of troublesome. Don't like that. Interesting. So I leave villain unable to Flage. I put a Lotus Field into play. Maybe that's even worse than keeping the Crumbling Vestige in my hand because now I don't have 6 mana. So if I draw Titan, that's not that great. Bombardment, okay, I don't mind that. Drew Titan. Interesting spot. If I draw a bounce land, I can summon Titan this turn. Could also force the treasure and the bombardment. Not sure how good that is. It does let my opponent Flage in a way. I think I should actually Spelunking. Chad, I got a Steam message asking me to play Slay the Spire. Streamuje ziomuś Modern Chial Naga. Never got a Steam notification like that before. If I force and I get mooned, I don't think I really beat moon this game though. I think I should cast a force. Maybe I do beat moon. I don't know. White mana. Like what does my opponent have in hand? I don't know. If they play land and attack me with Flage, with Arena, that's fine. Mana Thief, let's hope not. They could have Mana Thief the Force of Vigor. I think they wouldn't. Okay, just Snapcast Flage. Throbbing Charm. Could be. But they are casting the Titan. This is 12 damage, I go to 5. I attack, bounce the Flage. Missing a Skyline Cascade in this spot maybe, but... Or perhaps I just try to loop. I play Titan. I get a bounce land and Lotus Field, replay Lotus Field, then GSZ. Yeah, that sounds good. Maybe they would have Surgical. Maybe. Flute. No, not the skin flute. Don't have Delirium. That shouldn't be an issue. Because I can get Pact with Tolaria West. I can't go to Yemen. I'm an analyst. Get on the plane. We milled a GSZ. Was that the one we just shuffled? Would look a little bit awkward in IRL because you just shuffle your deck and you mill. It's the GSZ you just shuffled in. Maybe. And you needed to mill it for Delirium, so you had an incentive. Losses for time. For clock purposes. Now we are seeing Canister back to peak performance after some standard season. Exactly. Standard seasons are heavy on the soul. In a way. Now we are back in the sauce, as they say. Do they? Do they say that? In the sauce? They do not say that? Okay. Back with the sauce. Under the sauce. Okay. No, they don't say that either. Under the sauce? Come on. What a weird saying. They should. Okay. I think I made it so that my Mr. Beast has to die. But we have 6 in the deck, so you can easily replay them. Holy shit, the drums in this song are pretty aggressive. Wow. Sex. Hey, can you help me with my homework? It should only take around 5 minutes and 7 seconds, but I need help now. Holy shit. Alright, what's the homework? This was funny because we actually had, this was the amount of time I had on my clock. It was a fairly humorous comment. Because it was like, haha, will you time out? What a crazy coincidence. Indeed. Damn, that's crazy. Winning, good, yes. Definitely winning, Mr. Da Vinci. I know that otherwise you couldn't pleasure. You wouldn't extract pleasure from watching this stream, or at least not to the same extent, so I am trying to win specifically for you. In a sense. Check Mr. Beast size. 16 subs. Or 16 million subs. Maybe more accurately. Which is enough to beat my opponent. Indeed. We are amuleting just like every single day of our lives, and I keep this hand because I have Dryad Arbor in the deck. Without Dryad Arbor this would not be a keep, so... Ooh, Jwari Ruins. Monk, no, Lotus Field though. Still, I think the Dryad is necessary for us to function. Turn to Saga Spelunking. And maybe I can win with constructs, but I guess it's a long shot. Realistically, I will just wait till I get Vexing Bauble on turn 4. And then Amulet, rather than GSZ. Opponent could simply counter my Spelunking, of course, with a Flare. or Disrupting Shoal. They have many free drops in their deck. So that's actually quite easy for them to do. So if they have Disrupting Shoal, they probably actually, you know, they see the Spelunking, they definitely counter it. I mean, not definitely, but... Z-Gate Restoration. Okay, I could also just kill a land. I think that might be a better move. Because that means my opponent cannot wear for Lotus next turn. Is that so? Maybe I would prefer to Spelunking and keep up the Boseiju for the Lotus, if they summon the Lotus. Because then my next turn is great. It's make a construct plus Boseiju, and then I cast a Titan protected by the bubble. If my Spelunking gets countered, then my next turn is construct or Boseiju, which is still... I guess it's not great. I would hope that doesn't happen, but... I mean, I could also kill a land right now, I guess, if the Spelunking resolves. But it did get countered by the shoal. Opponent discarded a Tameshi. They either have two Tameshis, or they really wanted to counter the Spelunking, or they don't have access to Lotus Bloom and they don't care for the Tameshi. Could be. Could be it. Could be that. Any chance I should actually GSZ for a Grazer now? Because that way I make a construct this turn, next turn I make two constructs, and I use the Boseiju and Vexing Bauble. The Vexing Bauble not so important, but I guess it's a plan. Otherwise, next turn I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana, so not enough to cast a GSZ. I think I should do that, frankly. I could counter, that's not that great, but also fine. Like, I would rather get this countered right now than in the future, in a way. If I sink 7 mana into the Zenith. That said, of course Vexing Bauble would make it uncounterable, but there really is not a future where I get both the Vexing Bauble and cast a GSZ with X equals 7. You should have played Saga to have green open for Boseiju. No, not really. Because I'll Grazer in a Crumbling Vestige. That gives me an untapped mana. And I will just make a construct sorcery speed. That way I get a mana from my Grazer trigger. I will not be keeping up the Boseiju, which is a little bit sad, but also I don't think it is meaningful here. If they play a Belcher, I should kill the Belcher with the Boseiju. So I don't really want to go after a land, because Villain's hand is currently Seagate Wreckage. Seagate, not Wreckage, but rather Restoration. Isn't trying to get a Mr. Beast out using GSZ better plan than constructs? I think it's pretty unreliable, it's too easy to counter. The constructs are pretty slow though, so definitely not that perfect, but it seemed to me like it kinda makes more sense. I think there was a chance that my opponent would want to summon a Belcher now. Because I kind of had to commit all of my resources to like trying to GSZ Mr. Beast. They have a single flare and that's kind of checkmated. And the constructs are like they don't have Lotus available. The constructs are supported by my Boseiju if they play Belcher. So it felt kind of okay to me. Guess now I'll get a Bauble. Attacking with 6 power creatures seems meaningful. Because my opponent dies to 3 hits of 6 power creatures, so I attack. Sink, that's fine. Slows me down tremendously, block-wise, but should maybe consider cracking the bubble. Because at this point it's not really necessary. Although if I don't crack and I draw an Amulet that forces Gigachamp. Well, Killer Switch, the issue is that I don't have Delirium. I guess Vexing Bauble produces Delirium. I think I'll just untap. It's a good draw. Is there a way for you to turn woodlands into a construct factory? Well, there is. It just takes many turns. If you turn... You have to do this in your draw step. If you... Or rather, before your first main phase. You can turn woodland into a saga, and then it's going to just level up. Going to get a loyalty counter, and then if it gets a second, if you turn it the second time, it gets the second loyalty counter. Primigero. I think I had it maybe happen once. It just kind of never matters. Like, it's kind of impossible for the play to matter. It's just kind of doesn't really play out that way ever. But the dream is always there. Here I think I should just haste. I think they would be on no outs. So my opponent just didn't draw anything, only counters, and I guess never won. Yes, sagas trigger when they enter and at the beginning of your first main phase. It is the Legacy Lands win con. Don't they run Maritlage? Guess I'll keep Mr. Beast. Oh, maybe I want another Grazer over Mr. Beast. I mean, turn to 6 sounds real. Hi Canister, can you explain why it's possible to copy a saga with woodland to get infinite constructs? Well, I just did, right? I mean, I guess I explained how, but you're asking for why? Shifting Woodland. Urza Saga. Urza Saga, second chapter ability. This saga gains 2 tap, make a construct. Shifting Woodland. Turn into saga, resolve the... Go into your first main phase, put the chapter counter. Gain the ability to add colorless mana. End of turn, Shifting Woodland returns to being a Shifting Woodland. it retains the ability to add colorless mana. And it retains a lore counter. Next turn, do the same. Get a second lore counter. Now you have 2 lore counters. The second ability triggers. The land gains the ability to tap and make constructs. End of turn turns back into a Shifting Woodland. It retains the ability to tap for colorless and to make constructs. Now, what happens if your opponent Blood Moons on top of that? The answer is, I don't know, frankly. That's a bit too much. Should I put back Pact? I kind of feel like it. The Pact is so bad in this matchup. Would like to go Grazer Ouphe 6. That's gonna be my curve. Point mulligan to 6. Ooh, I drew 6 regardless. Interesting. I guess I'll just play a turn to 6 then. Did I side and dismember? Yes, both of my dismembers. At least I attempted to. Yes, I did. Also, I ended up with 2 Grazers, so I guess it's not that weird that I drew a Grazer in both of my hands. Whoa, Mildy Harbinger, Monka. They keep disrupting Shoal postboard. I guess it gets better postboard in a way, but I'm always kind of surprised by that. I don't know, it doesn't seem great to me. Because at the costs that you want to counter, there is not much stuff. I mean, I say that as my opponent is going to pitch a free drop to counter 6, but you know what I'm saying. Sometimes. That's how it is. Alright, next turn I cast GSZ and second sex is relevant. Because the first one is gone. That's fine. We can pick up the Boseiju next turn. I GSZ. Jwari Disruption would be a little bit brutal, but just hoping that it's not going to be the case. Flare of Daniel, okay. Opponent has 2 cards in hand, maybe my Ouphe can resolve. Right now, I will have 6 mana. That's convenient. Play Belcher, that's fine with me. Because we have the Ouphe and we have the Boseiju, so largely unconcerned. Can draw Titan, can draw GSZ now. I maybe should just kill Belcher proactively. Or at least in the upkeep. Although it is nice if my opponent attempts to bounce the Collector Ouphe. I mean, they know I have Boseiju, they've seen it. So is it going to be better to just kill the Belcher? Because otherwise things might be a little bit tough. EOT bounce Belcher, kill 2 lands. There is likely an island in my opponent's deck. I don't think killing their lands is like all that good, and they like what, draw an extra land, replay the Belcher. Is that good for me? I think I should kill it now. They have into the flood mode and I have to spend my second Boseiju. Mountain. Okay. I mean, same thing. I guess they are close to 7 mana now, so they could cast... That's a really good draw, by the way. They could cast... Seagate Restoration soon. What made me cut the Elder Gargaroth again? I just sat down and thought about the Gargarov a little bit harder, and I have realized that it is just not a justifiable card to play. Feels pretty safe to play Titan. Maybe I can die to bounce spell on Ouphe into something. Okay, but that like removes a sink from the dating pool. It's actually nice and useful. They don't have it. They can't sink the Ouphe into like land into bounce Ouphe. Belcher. You always pray that they draw mountain and don't have blue to get Lotus Bloom whenever you see it in the villain's deck. Well, that would be sad for them, but if you think about it from the Belcher player's POV, if they don't cut a land, then they are actually not risking anything. They'll draw the stupid Tameshi. Because the mountain wouldn't have been a land anyways in those spots. So it doesn't really hurt them. Haha, why insult Tameshi? I'm not sure actually, I shouldn't have said that. Tameshi is a good fella. It's just annoying that it draws with bounce lands. I kind of don't like that, and I found that unfair. Slightly unfair. Keeping up forest for Boseiju so that my Sex can help me channel it for 1 mana. Doesn't draw in paper, that is true. Often it would not. I mean, I could maybe die. Actually, I should probably Boseiju the Orderly Plaza or the Sing into Stupor. So better to kill Plaza. Yeah, but if my opponent has a way to bounce the Ouphe, if they have another way, then they can win. It should be brutal for them to win this game. If not, then they lose on the next turn. But yeah, they did draw an extra card with Tameshi, and that may have been crucial. Maybe they drew the Sink, right, with the bounce land. Playing a tapped Seagate Restoration. Alright, I like that. Therefore, I summon Analyst. Okay, opponent got convinced by the Analyst pre-activation. Just flaunting my Analyst a little bit. Opponent last spotted playing Boros. This is fine on the play. Would be a bit better if my Vexing Bauble was an Explore, but I guess it's not a huge difference against Boros. Like, might actually be the same. Like, I can cycle the Bauble on turn 2, and if it's a Grazer or GSZ, that's actually fine. We have Forest, we have Boseiju, so I am not afraid of Moon. This hand is nice, actually. We have Pact, so if I Scapeshift, I can get Mr. Beast if I need to, if my opponent is holding up a Thraben Charm. Although a Thraben Charm would have killed my Spelunking, so it's pretty rare that they would hold it up. But the hand is nice. Opponentos. Let's go. Alright, Forest, Bauble, go. Maybe they are on Neoform. What is Opponentos playing? Bot said they played Energy 3 days ago, but you know, who knows? People change decks occasionally. Allegedly. Opponent is a bros gamer. Duro. Amuretti. Amulet is good. I think I can't lose this game. Maybe Moon and kill me fast enough? But it seems kinda tough, because if you cast Moon now, you don't kill me fast. Okay, Mirrorpool is gone. It's not really a problem, but could be annoying. A Johnny and a Ocelot Pride. Wow. Gridlock Orphan. Added Doctor Who Orphan. Yes. That's exactly what I meant. Mr. MTG bot, for sure. I even drew the Crumbling Vestige, but I guess that means that Moon next turn is not scary. So I have not to die, and then it's okay. Do I die to Bombardment by any chance? In any way? Is opponent going to challenge my can't lose now statement? Metafy update, discount for subs. There is a discount for subs, yes. I will be posting the update next week. I am working on it currently. GSZ. I mean, Bombardment. Red mana. Kurwa. No nie, no jak? Go to 8. You make 4 tokens. I go to 1. So I die to a creature. No creature? Okay, I like that. I go to 2, actually. Bolt you. Thank you, Mr. Wizards, for Galvanic Discharge. In spots like this, I'm so glad it exists. Galvanic Discharge. I'm often kind of surprised that people play Discharge, because I don't really get it. I mean, I get it, but it doesn't seem that much better than Bolt necessarily. Is Modern just Boros? It's, well, we played against Belcher, Boros. I think 3 Boros opponents. This is the third. We played against Brute Scale also. Starts with a B. Bioform. Love Bioform. Alright, I'll kill the Bombardment. It's slightly suboptimal maybe to do it now, but it relieves my opponent of the pressure to hold up priority unless they have Trap and Charm. Whoa, Survel Flage, that's so lucky. You can beat Trap and Charm here. I'm going for Mr. Beast, which should beat Trap and Charm, yes. It's a little bit awkward that Mirrorpool is gone, because that might be a slight issue. when trying to analyze later or when trying to produce lethal, but it's gonna be okay. Why do you think Amulet is perceived as an extremely difficult deck to play? I mean, it is kind of difficult, but I also think that Boros Energy is a difficult deck. It's just kind of weird, it's different than many other decks would be, so that's why it's perceived as difficult to play. What is the easiest good deck to play in Modern? I don't know, Boros Energy, I guess. It's hard, but also easy, because it's a good deck. Prowess? I think, for me personally, Prowess is always a giga hard deck. I struggle playing those decks so much. So yeah, it's hard to decide. I think Neoform is pretty hard to play as well. It's a bit tricky. Lots of things to keep track of. But I guess maybe it's not that hard. Was that the best way? I think it's a fine way, but I mean, I'm GSZing for Analyst now. They could exile my Shifting Woodland for good. Don't want to pull the so-called trigger. So if I use it now, I think that works out fine. Aj kurwa nie, I am 1 mana short. Somehow. Ja pierdolę. I shouldn't have searched for Hanweir Battlements and Urza's Cave. I should have searched for Cave and a Lotus Field, probably. Because then I would be better off against Trap and Charm. Alright. Oh Jesus. I didn't count my mana. I had too little mana to like play safely, and now there are some dangers that could happen. Okay, everything is fine. Except for being glacial, but yeah, sure, whatever. No, no! Actually, I should have looped and hasted the Colossus. That would have been like the fastest. That's horrible. Could they have stopped you? No, I didn't really give them an opportunity to stop me, but I think they could have used it a bit better maybe, but not like giga vastly better, but also they used it in a way where it's giga annoying for my clock. So it was a time wasting. Kurwa, no sweczuj się debilu, nie? Pliska. Naprawdę, nie? Już daj tego tam... Wypierdalaj z tym fetchem, no. Poszedł. Just F6, bro. Please. Crazy clock optimization technique, yeah. Finally. I surveil. Full focus now. White should concede. Well, it's gonna take me a while. So, I guess they might have a different viewpoint. Oops. Kurwa! Land mi wjechał. Naprzeciwko. Think I should pass. A land slowed in front of my cave. I didn't gain 4 life. I was kind of doing all of that to gain 4. But I think I'm safe from like most reasonable movements my opponent could have. If they go land, Ragavan Ajani Bombardment. If I just kill the bombardment, well then I have to perform a single loop. Ziomush land Flash Bombardment. They have 4 mana. Oh, I mean like Flash from hand, sure. Well, that would be an issue. Hopefully that doesn't happen. Seems like it doesn't. Land Mox Amber Bombardment. That will be rough. Hopefully it doesn't happen. +23 plus 18, that's 41. Opponent doesn't have 20 toughness. Can F6. Canister wins. Quick restart. Solitude, very good question. Excellent question, in fact. You just got there. In that case, Boros Energy typically doesn't play Solitude, although one time a Boros Energy gamer has played Solitude against me and kind of scarred me for life. I think about it a lot now. No, it wasn't Alberto XD. I don't think Alberto XD is an energy type gamer, but I guess maybe. Was playing Energy Solitude for a while. Okay. I found the card, it was the 4th Zenith, if I cut the Dryad Arbor. Whoa. This hand makes me want to run 3 Primeval Titans in my deck. Like some other gamers. Mulligan. Whoa, this hand... Kurwa, niezła jest ta ręka, nie? Probably will keep. Did we get a write-up regarding your recent Modern experience? Was fun watching you on the live stream. My recent Modern experience? I will post an update to the Metafy guide next week. So not yet, but next week it's gonna be. Next week the game is on, as they say. Kurwa, Scapeshift. I thought London Mulligan puts the card back on the bottom, not on the top. That's weird. I want a bounce land now? Well, if you want a bounce land, then why did you cut the 7th bounce land from your deck, Debilu? I mean, I carried for a forest, I would take a forest as well. Heck, I would even take the fire magic now. Opponent discards Flash and Ajani, Nakadl Parhate. I think it's better to play Spelunking, draws me towards my green source. Gains before life. Ooh. And I guess I hope they don't kill my Spelunking, or play Moon, or do anything. Just play Guide of Souls, Ocelot Pride, and I don't know. Guide of Souls Flage. Whoa. Whoa. Wait, I live. No, I don't. Not close, right? No, it is close. Kinda. I'm not sure what to think about 6 versus Boros. Really, because it's definitely not good in a way where I want to. Like, I think I kind of figured that much by now. It's better on the play, though. But certainly there's plenty of times you kind of don't want to play it. I mean, my hand was kind of shit and mana screwed, so maybe it was a bit different. Let's play with the second one still. Guys, Ajani is totally fine. Don't worry. Ajani is giga fine. It's so fine that I just can't even tell you how fine it is. Why fire magic over any other sweeper? Because fire magic, I think it's probably the best against Boros right now. Because you can cast it on turn 1 or 2, and it also can clear Voice of Victory even if it takes 6 mana. I don't bring it in against Affinity. The Blood token is really good, but also costing 1 mana is also good, so it's pretty rough. Because, you know, most hands won't actually get to cast it for 1 mana either, so it's a little bit of a cope, but just a tiny bit of cope. I guess this hand I go fire magic and then get 6. So I sweep my opponent's turn 1 and 2 plays. That sounds nice. I have to put back Titan for that line to work fully. I will. Ocelot Proud. Ooh. Hello, Chimba. It's a bit tricky because if I don't block, I reveal information. Whoa, the flexibility of fire magic, incredible here. Grazer lives. Having sex available here is pretty good, probably. Time to have some gay sex? Why gay? Maybe just normal sex. Sex no ren. Whoa, my heteronormative biases shown through my language, chat. That is true. I haven't considered that. I would hope that my opponent doesn't play Moon. I would hope that they don't play an Ajani, but it's not the end of the world, maybe? No, it is. They kill my sex. Ajani plus 1 drop. I guess you can kill sex with Flage because you have bombardment. Titan? I am an analyst. Whoa, I milled some lands. Those sure are lands I milled. It feels deeply unfair when your opponent uses removal to kill your creature. Soul Guide Lantern? Is it game 2 or 3? I lost game 2, right? Guess I'll just bounce the mana. Analyst gone. No, not gone. Well, can be gone at any minute though. Gesundheit, thank you, chat. A Johnny? Kurwa, jaki ten Johnny jest pojebany, nie? Nie mogę wytrzymać tego, jak silna jest to karta. Titan, GSZ, Mr. Beast. Scapeshift? Scapeshift as well. Kurwa. I don't know, should I play it? There's some minor utility for Scapeshift. Amassing land drops, and Beast should be fine enough if I draw him. Only one more, be in queue for 13 minutes. MH draft. 2 Ajanis? Whoa. Guess we get punished by the Mulligan decision. I put back the Titan to have the ability to have sex on turn 4 in play. And that Giga punished me. If that wasn't the case, I would be in a much better spot. Yeah, flip the second Ajani. Isn't that wasteful? Maybe not. Very suspenseful. Otawara, nie? Wiadomo, może jakieś gówno dobiorę, a nie coś dobrego. Let's make the Scapeshift better. It's funny they have less time. It is kind of funny. Yeah, I don't know what my opponent did with their time. So how do I prevent death? I'll take 3 damage now. Then they attack me for 3. For 4. That's 7. Plus 3, that's 10. So I guess if I Otawara the Cat Warrior. Maybe the bombardment, and I Because I don't take damage from Ajani. And then the attack for 6 plus 4. So I guess better to bounce Bombardment because they have to pay mana to replay it. Amazing play, dziękuję. Dumpling, kurwa, ty śmieciu, nie? Hola Chico na listę wrogów, kanistra. MTG. Jeszcze czanta dawaj. Żeby mi dosrać, nie? Na fulla. Can you explain this śmieciu? No, I can't. Alright, Azorius Control. Oh no. Azorius Control is my nemesis. My enemy. Kahira the Orphan Guard. It was a nice challenge chat, but I guess my tiebreaker is no good, so let's not give up. Mulligan. Oh, I'm well. It's double amulets. It could be a turn to win, so I don't know why I groaned. Playing the amulet into a prismatic ending because the turn to victory chance is tempting. Getting forced means that I guess there's nothing left here for me, so now my hand is gonna be too slow and I will not get there. Also, it would be a turn to kill because Spelunking is that one extra mana that's necessary. Ooh, island cycling. Strong move. Would have needed something more. You're right, in my head I had 2 lands at the beginning of turn 2, but that's obviously not true. I just shortcutted in my head and I played both variants of turn 2. Both the one where I do play the Titan. Well, both the one where I play the bounce land and the one where I don't play the bounce land. The Fari, rough. Seems like Narset, because they, yeah. Their tap did not go through. Let's draw a bounce land or Vestige. Okay. Whoa, thank you, Mongo. Of course. Still, you know, let's not get solid to that. Or Saddle Deed. I think just hasting is reasonable. Just, you know, making a bold play against a bad matchup. Could also get 2 Lotus Fields, but then I end up with no lands, so I don't know if that's actually any good. Like, that would seem bold, but also bad. If you didn't have Titan in hand, would you ever fetch SGC Tolaria here instead of hasting? I could, but as I said, bold, bad matchup, make bold plays. Kurwa. Niedobrze. A może dobrze? Nie, no niedobrze. We can draw cards. 7 cards in villain's hand. Ups. No nie. Pierdolę ten. Dobra, no chuj. I meant to use my floating red to haste, but I guess I had exactly 7 in my mana pool because this was untapped. Whoops. Whoops. Whoa. Scapeshift sits. No sits. I see. Understandable. I counter. Icy spell, I counter. Such is the life of a blue mage. Dobra, nie chcę mi się grać na takie tutaj. Ile razy mogę zagrać tego Colossusa i dostać kontrę w niego, nie? I'll bring 6. That's the end of my journey. We don't have much. Against control mages. The Trinisphere, I brought it the last time, it was kind of medium. Don't think it's great. Skyline Cascade, pretty useless today, by the way. What was my record on last evening's challenge? 4-3, I think? Can fire magic hit planeswalkers? It cannot because there are no planeswalkers in Final Fantasy. Maybe one Trini better than second Grazer still. Could be, yeah. Definitely consider that. Yeah. I mean, it could be a turn to Titan. Could. Not sure if I should play the other one or not. It gets just gets consigned a portion of the time, so guess that's bad. I think this is no longer Hades music. No i chuj mi w dupę i na imię, już nic nie mam. 3 tury to zajęło. Mogę się cmoknąć. Yeah, that's exactly it, Dido there. I play Planeswalker. Why don't more people play Blue-Eyed Control? If it's so good and always beats me, then what's stopping other people from beating everyone else with it? Blue-White has a problematic Boros energy matchup. I can see that. That for sure is true. Trying to keep Narset in play against those gamers. Challenging. Are counterspells so rare that Cavern is not worth it? Counterspells are very rare. And even if they aren't rare, Cavern is not great. And it's not worth it, so yeah, that's exactly it. Whoa, my amulets gone. Self-respect is what stops people from playing control, I guess. Dobra. Chuj mi w dupę i na imię. Let's hope that my tiebreaker holds and we get to the top 8. Starting 5-0 should be fine. I keep. I wonder what is Lenny on. Took 10 minutes to resolve the first mulligan. Would I played Ornette Imitations in the sideboard if it was legal? I don't think so. Doesn't seem particularly good in Modern. Pineapple is best.
He's
No
a
sauce,
phenomenal
no
control
cheese,
player.
no other toppings. Just warm pineapple. Sounds good. Is a single throne enough clock to finish the game quickly enough against control? I don't think so. Also remember that if you have a single throne, you just don't... You will not summon it. You will Zenith it. There you can counter your Zenith. So you don't really gain that benefit. Control is just so structurally tough that I don't find it much useful to try to... No dawaj, Ragomana. Okay, Ocelocik. I don't find it that useful to try to commit a bunch of time to thinking how to solve that matchup, because it's just kinda isn't solvable, I think. And that's fine. Jiggly15, thank you very much for the sub. Appreciate your support for 2 whole years. Holy guacamole. Two ocelots. Ale nasrało tych kociąt. T-West in hand, but that's fine. We can get Grazer. Wonder if I just die to bombardment. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I guess bombardment tap land. You make token and then a token and then you make a token and you make 3 tokens. So you make 6 total tokens? Not that many. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Seems like I did not die to bombardment. My quick calculation tells me, but we'll see. If my opponent has moon now. Maybe. Ajani, nakatl parhaty. The issue now is I kinda should play around... Oh no, there's no treasure. Oh, because the treasure was sacrificed, so... That's fine, that's fine. No, to Fulek mi naciska na myszkę. Jakbyś mi kurwa wybrał czerwoną manę z tego, Crumbling Vestige'a, to byś cię oddał do schroniska. Z powrotem. They might flip a bomba with rag. What does that mean? You think Boros is healthy for the format to keep combos in check? Well, but the combos keep Boros in check, though. Like, it's... The title matchup versus Boros is kinda close, but favored. That's how it is for all the combo decks, really. Not the greatest combo checker, yeah. It's a good blue-white control checker, though. So that's healthy for the format, because otherwise people will play blue-white control. Boros makes fair less viable. Well, but also Boros is Giga Fair, so it's fair is viable, it's just that Boros is the viable fair. Right? Well, that's a good thing, Philpin, right? Isn't it? Haha, a good thing.
He's a phenomenal control player.
I am using my Twitch Prime to enjoy this stream without ads.
Whoa, great choice. Happiness LTD, I think Lenny is just double queuing. I think Lenny is a forever double queuer. So that's just what happens, and he's enjoying his time off to finish his other game. That's why he was 10 minutes left. 10 minutes late. As you see, he was f6 and all tapped and just waited for me to attack for lethal. So now he's not even here to block or concede or not block. Oh, minus 40. I don't think I had Bog happen much against Boros post board, frankly. It's pretty rare. Just one Vigor. Would prefer four GSZs, I think. You once hated frog gamers, but now you feel bad for them? I don't think I ever arrived at that state of mind, but I can see how you did. Whoa, this hand is a little bit ass. Let's mulligan. Whoa, this is like the same hand, but also way better. Scared Fondue. Ragavan. Huh, we have the perfect answer for that. Whoa. First draw step, Hanweir Battlements. Classic. Hopefully my opponent will not Charmo me. This hand seems prone to that. I guess it's also prone to Moon, but that's every hand. Sloth versus Ape. Tail us all this time. O kurwa, jeszcze ma Ocelota. I want my sweeper and I want it now. Nope. Please I gain 4 life. Please no Charmo. Just draw Scapeshift. Oh, that's also a good advice, yeah. We could go with that plan. Forest is nice, not really. If I get Mooned, I don't beat Moon with Titan cast through a forest. Not really. I would argue it was a bad draw. Fire Magic. If I draw Fire Magic, I probably should just cast it. To sweep the board before I cast Titan. Dobra, Dumping Sphere is okay. Is okay. We have plenty of life points. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Don't think I can keep up Boseiju, unfortunately. Seems like I should just attack. Hope I don't die. Don't want to give them the extra mana just yet. But yeah, it is sad that if my opponent has a bombardment now, they just play it and I have the Boseiju in hand and I have the Gruul Turf in play, yet I cannot kill it. Johnny, Nakatul Parhati, that's fine. You can't cast more spells this turn. Well, I guess you can cast a Galvanic Discharge with the treasure, for example. Face and Hands Drink. Also a common side, yes. 7 life points. Exiled. Shifting Woodland. O ja pierdolę. No nie, Shifting Woodland. To jest niedobrze. So I guess I can't loop, but I can just win by drawing my more or less deck with Colossus and sweeping the board with 2 fire magics. Magic. So I guess I'll get 2 bounce lands. That is assuming no interaction. I like this. Hanweir Battlements, Vesuva, Hanweir Garrison. Lots of information. 4 cards to explain 1 card. Whoa! That is crazy. But also really good for me. Why did you cast this? Why did you not kill my Spelunking? think my opponent is stupid or doesn't pay attention to the game. Or both. If I Mirrorpool, I get Crumbling Vestige bounce land. Haste, I have 3 mana. I attack, I get 2 bounce lands. That sounds good. Probably double Q, yeah, for sure, but horrible move still. What are you double queuing that you like don't want to pay attention to your top 8 match? Like you're bleeding value for sure, right? Could just win this if you held this. Or kill the Spelunking. Rune Eclipse Draft League, let's hecking go. What kind of pepper? Just a bell pepper? Random orange pepper, okay. To each their own. I mean, I like peppers, they're pretty tasty. Oh, we can loop with 6, I boarded in 6, so we can also just go infinite without woodland. I do play Mr. Beast, this entire play was a setup for Mr. Beast, indeed. Great point, chat. How amulet if no amulet? Well, simple. Oh no, Beast dies. Beast games are over. Oh no, I milled 6, so now I can't loop again. Fuck. So made sure to keep 6 available. Now you milled 3. Think you're funny? I already cooked for top 8. This is the top 8. So I guess, am I cooked for top 8? Yeah, this top 8. Hmm. Are we cooked for top 4, chat? I think we're cooked, yeah. Giga cooked. Actually, we'll need to attack twice. You got around to the store, so can you ask Ross to take a long time so I'm back before next round? Well, you don't need to ask Ross. It's gonna happen organically. What can they draw? Nothing. Wrath of the Skies. I mean, Wrath of the Skies would be a problem, yeah. The Onion Ring, sure. I mean, Wrath of the Skies would actually fuck me up. That's funny. I would just be left with a single Titan. I shouldn't have used my Mirrorpool, so I was lazy. Do I think the new Pithing Needle land will be bad for the Aftermath loop? It might be a little bit annoying if people actually play it. I don't think they will play it too much. The card doesn't strike me as giga great. But what could happen is that that Tron Gamer's name Boseiju with it, and that's annoying. Oh, double, that's the control guy. So the person we played against? Yeah. Okay. Turn to win is good. I think I should actually not play the Amulet. I mean, maybe villain will tap out for a Planeswalker. I mean, the fairy still is pretty good for my opponent here. And I guess even if they play Narset, I don't have a clean win. Well, not through Force of Negation. But if I draw a Grazer now, Worm's Chant, okay. Yeah, I can't get Vexing Bauble here, unfortunately. Oh, kurwa. Point was F6. Okay. Are they F6 enough for me to Mirrorpool right now? What if I get Urza's Cave right now and Grove Chamber? Then I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana. I have 10 mana. I go to 7. I get US. Yeah, I guess I should do that. Whoa, nice song chat. Imagine not playing Cave. Yeah, and people will tell me, yeah, I just played like 2 leagues with Amulet and I never missed Cave. People do say stuff like that. Could still have subtlety, but they were F6 and it seemed like they didn't have it. Yeah, of course you didn't miss it because you just don't even know what you're missing, buddy. You just don't have the imagination developed enough to understand what are you missing out on. What you see making a funny Urza type joke, it becomes an Amulet staple. Yeah, first Urza's Saga, then Urza's Cave. They just wanted to make funny cards and that's how it turns out. Crazy. Miau. Miau. No tak powiedz to Fulek do kamery. Bojuka update. She is not great. She's on tons of meds and doesn't really want to eat. So I think today I'll try to force feed her a little bit. I think she eats way too little. This hand is quite nice. This hand is definitely solid. Have I gotten the syringe and wet food? I think I have some spare syringes. Oj, zostaw to mi kurwa tam gąbkę pogrzebiesz. Paskudo. I think I should play 6. Because next turn I can play Spelunking, Vestige, Scapeshift. Daj mu gąbkę? Nie, zakaz gąbki. Gąbka nie dla kota jest. Update on Stefan, does he reaps well in peace? Yes. All that remains for Stefan is peaceful oblivion, indeed. Tefari, okay. They probably bounce 6. So the plan is working. How did this Ty kurwo zaśmierdła. Niedobrze. I mean, it's not that bad. Opponent ruined my strategy, but I can just replay 6 and kind of threaten the same thing next turn. Isn't it odd? Maybe wouldn't you rather bounce the Dryad Arbor and Solitude 6? That seems very wrong to do. Orim's Chant? Sure. Guess I'll play Saga. Maybe they didn't have Solitude. Oh, you draw Solitude with Tefari, you mean. That makes sense, yeah. Somehow Villain only has 2 cards in hand. Maybe they drew Solitude or they drew white card, right? Maybe they didn't have one of those. Fere. A consign. Whoa. Spelunking. If they counter, I can retrace next turn, so not too worried. Whoa! Instant speed Lurien revealed. Now if they counter, then I can't replay because Force of Negation exiles. O ty. Smrodzie, nie? I think I will Vesuva the whole. I mean, Wrath of the Skies could get me, for example, here, pretty well. I would get wrecked. If my opponent drafts of the skies. White mana. No, okay, blue. Okay, that's just Narset. Orym's Chant, jaki kurwa zamulacz, nie? Zaraz jebnę. Am I winning? I mean, I'm not so sure anymore. Game looked okay, but kinda maybe looking a bit sus now. Well, I mean, we'll see. We'll see. The 5 mana draw 3 was brutal. Supreme Verdicts could be worse. Verdict Suprimal. Ty paskudo, no. Straszliwy. Diable. Jak ja cię nie lubię. Fulek. Nie wkurwia mnie teraz, bo oponent tutaj już wystarczająco to robi. Oj. Oj, bad draw. We should, like a G6 and I draw 6. And they say there are no coincidences in life. Supreme Verdict is a bit odd. Why do they play it over Wrath of the Skies? Also, what does a blue-white control deck do if opponent ever flips a Johnny? Isn't it over then? Over, you mean in addition? We haven't seen any, though. Pending. So it is over. What do they do versus Saga? I mean, they have lots of tools against Saga. Wrath of the Skies. Even Teferi is pretty solid, frankly. Depends, but like, I guess the question is if they play Wrath of the Skies or not, because we haven't seen any. We've seen the Supreme Verdict twice already. Okay. Orym's Chant. Days Undoing, Monka. Don't think they played a land. Whoa. How did this happen? I have 6 mana and I don't have enough green to play my stupid Titan right now. Holy shit. Seems like perhaps a mistake somewhere. I just really wanted to make a construct last turn. Oj. Niedobrze, niedobrze. Niedobrze. Can pretend to have Otawara. Pretending didn't work. Fuck. Ja pierdolę, no jak to się dało przegrać taką grę, nie? Coś tutaj najgorzej zagrane zostało jak mogło. Bleh. Brother, do you have some outs? I mean, villain has 4 cards in hand. If those are 4 lands, then maybe. Therefore, we do not. Narset is gone. If they don't have a replacement one, that's pretty good for me with my hand. Cosine to memory. I see. Narset, I see. Kurwa, na czym ty myślisz? Rozpierdol mnie, no. Zniszcz mnie. Ile jeszcze będziesz napierdalać mnie? Ile jeszcze do aktywacji tej Kahiry, nie? Wow, resolve, cool. I pass. Oh, there is always game 3 though, chat. Or alternatively, I draw Shifting Woodland and start looping, but how exactly, I don't know. Because I don't have much in my graveyard. I guess if I draw Cave. Maybe Vesuva on Hall was a mistake this game. And maybe I was punished for like making that decision earlier. Whoa. Dobra kurwa. I need no more stops this game. Can't do anything. Maybe I do. Because I am getting attacked. Whoa. Opponent just made my hand even bigger. Whoa. A masz kurwa w halę swoją. Teraz mnie zabij. Oki, Kahira. Atak. Dobra. Where's the Kahira? Alright, right here. Main. main, begin combat. What other stops do I have? End step? Opposing end step? I forgot. I don't remember my traditional stops. Okay, I have opponent's end step, mine main phases, and their beginning of combat. That's it. I feel like we rebuilt them. Let's bring in a Trini Sphere on the play over the Grazer. Grazer, not good. Supreme Verdict. Blue-white control. Unbeatable deck. Main phase stop, present. Okay, we're ready to gamble. Ale gówno, nie? He's syf. Mulligan. Oj, oj, oj. Mulligan. A hand with a plan. But also with a Tolaria West. In a Scapeshift hand. And for sure, opponent will not just stop me. Lala. 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 True. Island. Very inconspicuous. I mean, Orim's Chant is like discarding a card, right? Urza. And Narset is like drawing 2 cards. Okay, okay. Cosine. Well, we can try to win. Can we? Yes, because I have T-West already in hand. Nie no chuj, to nawet nie wystarczy, tak? Scapeshift with 3 lands, that's just 8 mana, that's not enough mana. Any workarounds? I don't think so. Can't find any. So I'll just play Sex and see what happens during my opponent's turn. If I had a Crumbling Vestige in play... Top? Lurien Revealad. Only 4 cards in hand, maybe it's good. Aha, dobrze. Jest chujowo. Mamy jakiś pomysł? We have an Urza Saga and another one next turn. Opponent has 8 cards in hand. For sure they can solve a few constructs, attacking their planeswalkers and then the life total. That's the plan. Okay. Whoa, great draw. Are you currently top 8ing more than 50% of challenges you enter? I don't think so. Dobra, wygrałeś. Mam tego dość. I tak jeszcze roz tam zamula, ale... I got 18th, 25th, 3rd, that's doubled, 28th, 9th, 1st, that's your last chance, that's a showcase qualifier, 9th, 3rd, that's doubled, 27th, no, that's less than half, for sure, maybe a 3rd. But maybe lower than a 3rd.